Michelle Obama is overreacting and making a big deal out of nothing.
Josh Hockett's comment about Michelle Obama was utterly disgusting and super unnecessary. This was in no manner appropriate to say. No matter where you land, whether you're left, moderate, right, you still should have a respect for the former First Lady of this nation. And I feel as if because that is a Black woman, it made it almost more laughable, more comedic, because you thought that you could get away with that. Show me any other race of women that you are going and saying something like that on a public platform that you had. It's absolutely ridiculous. And anybody laughing about it, that shows me a lot about your character and who you are. You also are immature and disgusting. No matter how you felt about how her husband ran this country, his views, she does not deserve the disrespect that she just got from that comment. On top of that, if you call yourself a patriot and you stand for this flag and this nation, have some respect for our formers. I'm very saddened with this situation because no one deserves to be defamed in that way. What a concept.
Josh Hokett thought he could earn $5 million by mocking Michelle Obama in front of the audience just because he was a man. However, what he didn't expect was that within 24 hours after the incident, Michelle Obama immediately launched 3 shocking counterattacks, leaving him completely reduced to a clown. Recently, UFC fighter Josh Hokett publicly mocked former U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama as a man after a match held at the White House, sparking widespread criticism from netizens. However, Michelle Obama did not react on the spot. Many netizens praised Michelle Obama as a very elegant and poised woman, and also recognized her as a qualified lawyer. Within 24 hours of the incident, Michelle Obama immediately took 3 actions that made Josh Hokett look like a complete clown. Firstly, Michelle Obama promptly hired a professional legal team to gather comprehensive evidence of Josh Hokett's malicious rumors. However, instead of compromising, she pursued accountability to the end, using her most professional legal means. Secondly, Michelle Obama immediately reached out to the UFC executives and demanded that Josh Hokett be suspended and all his contracts and remaining funds be terminated immediately, thus completely ending his career. Finally, Michelle Obama decided to donate all the compensation she had recovered to organizations dedicated to helping impoverished children, aiming to support their growth and development.
So I loved the UFC fights last night. They were so fucking good. They were some of the best fights I've ever seen. But what I didn't like was Josh using his moment to call Michelle Obama a man. Like, the thing for me is it's not even a political argument. It's about diminishing a strong woman by implying that her strength, height, intelligence, confidence, leadership, all that kind of stuff is somehow a masculine trait. And just because she doesn't fit to like his societal norm of how women should look like or how they should act doesn't mean that she's a fucking man. It just really bothered me as a strong, confident, successful woman in today's day of age. It really hit a nerve with me because I have experienced similar hate by insecure men, and it's just gross. Like, it just kind of proved to me like how much this society hates women, especially strong women. Anyways, it really like kind of put a damper on the whole fucking experience for me. What did you guys think?
It's expensive to live in the White House. As many people don't know, I mean, much is not covered. You're paying for every bit of food that you eat. You're not paying for housing and the staff in it, but everything, even travel. If you're not traveling with the president, if your kids are coming on a Bright Star, which is the First Lady's plane, we had to pay for their travel to be on the plane. It is an expensive proposition, and you're running for 2 years and not earning an income.
I did not fuck with Josh Hokett's comment. I didn't like it. I didn't like the whole calling Michelle Obama man. Like,
former president.
Am I gonna chuckle? Like, yeah, am I gonna chuckle at how crazy it is? Yeah, sure. But it's like, I don't fuck with that. Like, no, like, honestly, man, Obama served this country, and you can have your differences of opinion with whoever the sitting president is, but like, they are serving this country.
And all you did was perpetuate a racial stereotype that you've been saying for years.
They said the same thing about Venus and Serena. Every time a black woman becomes something, others, some people from that side try to take a shot at them. It's been going on. I mean, when is it going to be enough?
Nah, for real, how disrespectful can you be? Why are we talking about politics at a sporting event? Josh Hogan wins his fight and calls Michelle Obama a man. Completely unprovoked, classless, and tasteless. You're talking about somebody who's not even thinking about you, has nothing to do with the sport at that. Just because you want to get a couple hee-hees and ha-has. Like, I don't understand why you want to tear this woman down and she has done nothing to you.
You remember this Latino boxer who mocked Michelle Obama? Right now, he's begging for help. He's saying he meant that the way Michelle is doing things, he works like a man. So that guy fear jail. I'm sure Obama, they are going to try their level best so that they put this gentleman down. Anyway, let's go straight to that video.
So you mean to tell me Josh Hogan gets up there after winning at the White House and tries to disrespect Michelle Obama by calling her a man? First and foremost, it's disgusting. But secondly, what is y'all's obsessions with the Obamas? Like, they be minding their business. They don't be like worried about y'all, thinking about y'all. But y'all want to bring them into y'all moments. And I'll say this, y'all never fail at doing it either. Y'all never fail at bringing them up. I'll say this. I forever believe that the reason why they're so obsessed with the Obamas is because they cannot fathom that once upon a time, there was an African-American black first lady and president of the United States of America. They cannot believe that they held that position so highly. So now they want to try to tear them down every single chance that they get by saying ridiculous statements about them every single time. I don't get that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what y'all say. They still had those positions and titles. And if Michelle Obama wanted to, she could become the first female president. I'm just saying.
I was giving her a compliment.
I don't think anyone viewed
Michelle
it as such.
Obama being a man, that's like she knows how to deal with adversity. She knows how to work hard like a man.
I have to say, I thought it was like you rose to the occasion. You get the big win over Derek, and then you're in the cage being interviewed by Rogan, and there's a moment there where you say something to the effect of like you're starting to give us like one of your now infamous patented promos or poems, whatever you want to call them. And then you say, forget about all that. And I'm like, yes, Josh, this is it. I've enjoyed her. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is the time to give us actually this version of Josh, which I'm delighted that you're talking to us here and that you're giving us, this side of you. And then you drop the Michelle Obama line. And I'm sitting there thinking like, why? Why did we have to go there? You're not going to fight with Michelle Obama. This is not a fight. This is not a planting of a seed like Alex Perry.
I thought I was giving her a compliment.
I don't think anyone viewed
Michelle
it as such.
Michelle Obama being a man, that's like she knows how to deal with adversity. She knows how to work hard like a man. When the times get tough. The
Why does that come to mind in that moment? Like, you just got this massive win of all the things you can say. Why even go there?
I thought it was a perfect opportunity to, show the world how great this country is with the freedom of speech. You go somewhere and you say something like that and you die, and I'm not suicidal, by the way. I'm in good spirits. I'm a little under the weather right now, but other than that, I'm good. And so in other parts of the world, you say something like that, and you're not here to speak to Ariel Helwani, so I don't know. There's a few ways. There's a few answers to that, and there's a certain side that pokes at another side, and there's no outrage there, and so I thought it was a perfect time to take a jab.
Do you regret saying it?
Oh, never. That's one thing about my career. I'm never gonna, man, I think I was watching a Cejudo video, and he was like, that's one thing I regret is like all the stuff I did. Or you hear people backtrack, even the Strickland post-fight speech where he was like, I'm trying to sell the fight, and I don't mean the things I say. I mean, you'll never hear me backtrack from what I say.
I want to pose a question to the man who thought it was cool to stand in front of a crowd and disparage Michelle Obama, and to anyone in the audience who laughed when they should have been embarrassed. Let me ask you this. Do you think you could ever do what she's done? Could you graduate from Princeton University? Not just attend, graduate. Could you earn a law degree from Harvard? Could you build a successful career as an attorney? Could you launch initiatives that encouraged healthier lifestyles for millions of children? Could you write a best-selling book, fill arenas with people who want to hear you speak and inspire young women around the world? Could you do that? Could you do any of that? See, it's just so weird to me that after that guy's peak performance, the first thing he thought about is the first lady from 10 years ago having a penis. That's weird. See, for years, people have mocked her looks, questioned her femininity, spread ugly rumors, called her names. Yeah, I can't remember a single time she ever lowered herself to their level. Instead, you know what she did? She gave us one of the most famous responses to hate ever spoken. What she say? She said, when they go low, we go high. Think about that. Now let's play your game for a moment, okay? Let's make an imaginary woman. Let's make her blonde. I know you like that. Let's give her blue eyes. Let's make her skin alabaster white. Let's change every feature until she perfectly matches your personal definition of beauty. And then let's give this imaginary woman all of Michelle's accomplishments. So here's my question to you, boo. Do you honestly think you'd have a chance with a woman like that? Do you in your wildest dreams think you could pull that? A woman who's brilliant, accomplished, educated, influential, interesting, successful. A woman with dignity and grace. A woman admired by millions across the globe. Do you think that any woman of that caliber would give you the time of day? Do you really believe she would? Do you really believe she'd find anything interesting about you, anything at all? And if you say yes, you're delusional, right? Not because of politics either, not because of race, because of caliber. Because a woman who has built something real, who has actually done something with her life, is not attracted to a small man like you. They are not drawn to men whose greatest accomplishment is a post-fight insult on a borrowed microphone. And the truth is, insults like this, they rarely tell us anything about the person being targeted. Very rarely, but they tell us everything about the person that's throwing out the insult. See, you can dislike someone's politics, okay? You can disagree with their opinion. That's fair game. But when your best argument is to attack a woman's appearance, her body, or her gender, baby, you've already lost, okay? And while some people spend their lives trying to tear her down, Michelle Obama keeps doing what she's always done. Baby, she's just rising up above it, going high. See, women like Michelle Obama don't spend their energy on people who aren't in their league. And that's probably why she'll be remembered long after the names of men and women, too, who insulted her are completely forgotten. I said what I said.
The Michelle Obama line was very distasteful and useless, does nothing good for you in that moment. There's no one that sees that. I'd like to think it says, that's my guy. Like, it does nothing for you. All it does is bring unnecessary attention to you. All it does is bring scrutiny, criticism, and it apparently has pissed off Dana White. We've always asked, what's the line? Well, here's Time that reached out to Dana White, who said in response to the comment, I understand that the Obamas are public figures, but I'm completely against saying nasty and false things about people's families. Thank you. And that's exactly what he should be saying. Everyone knows my position on free speech, but I hate that kind of nonsense. Does he say anything else? The White House did not immediately respond to Time's request for a comment about Hokit. I had a friend of mine who works in the business like, I hope you blast Joe Rogan for that. Why? What did Joe Rogan have to do? That to me was Josh Hokit and Josh Hokit only. I don't blame the White House for that. I don't blame the UFC for that. I don't blame Joe Rogan for that. Why? It was just, he was doing well. You know what I loved? He wins the fight and then he gets on the microphone. He's like, I was sitting next to Jacqueline, my wife, and I'm like, okay, here comes, watch this guy. He's going to do a poem, which is impressive in its own right after a fight. And then he goes, forget it. And I'm like, wow, this is great. We're going to get a real freaking promo from him. And then he drops that. Unnecessary, man. He's very talented. Why allow yourself to be held back? There's no payoff. There's no payoff.
A devil's advocate question.
Yeah.
Is he going to be held back by this?
No, but it's just, dude, you just won on the White House.
I'm with you.
This was self-inflicted.
But
it was so self-inflicted.
Inflicted implies that this will harm him, right? If there are no repercussions, is the UFC going to do anything about this?
No. But look, they determine everything, right? There is no meritocracy. So I could see Mark Shapiro or Ari Emanuel being like, yo, man, we can't.
Hey, everybody. You know what's funny? Y'all remember that Josh, the wrestler who called out Michelle Obama, said she was a man? Well, now he's crying, basically. He said Michelle Obama is taking it too far. Did y'all hear that shit? Because he lost everything. He lost everything for the comment he decided to make because he wanted to impress Trump. Let's be real. He wanted to show off and impress Trump. Because y'all tell me, what does Michelle Obama got to do with wrestling? See, that was a decision he made. And now that he lost all his endorsement, you're going to try to blame Michelle Obama? You want to blame Michelle Obama for what you said? Hell, Michelle Obama didn't even know your name. You called out her name to impress Trump. That's why you did it. You wanted to impress Donald Trump. You wanted to impress all the Trump supporters. See, that's the decision that you, Josh, you made that decision on your own. Huh? Now you're looking like an idiot because you lost all your endorsement. Michelle Obama ain't got a goddamn thing to do with what you said. What does she got to do with wrestling? Tell me. She don't even know you. That was a decision you decided to do. You wanted to boost the crowd. So you wanted to drag her name. And you know why? You know why? Because you knew that they were getting ready to open the Obama Center. So you thought it would be funny. Ha, ha, ha. You thought it was going to be funny. To impress your buddy. Whoa, what's going on? Now you're crying the tears because you lost all your endorsement for something that you, George, decided to do? So don't blame Michelle Obama. What do you mean she's taking it too far? How is she taking it too far? She ain't did shit. You called out her name. You did. So now you're getting your just desert. You see what happened? This is what happened to your racist ass people. This is what happens. So don't blame Michelle Obama. She don't know you. She don't know you. You decided to call out her name. You did. You put her name in your mouth. So now you lost all your endorsement and you're upset. Don't try to say it's her fault. How is that her fault? It's your fault. You're the racist one. You're the racist piece of shit. Just like your buddy Trump. All my opinion. TikTok, this is my opinion of how I'm taking it. My opinion. Ain't no need to get mad at Michelle Obama. Something that you said. Hello.
Josh has been in my gym. Josh was in the fighter meetings last weekend, and he wasn't doing the whole character thing. But the comments that he made in the octagon just made no sense. It was unnecessary. He started his post-fight interview, and he was going to do one of those gimmicky things that, honestly, like, I think it's lame as. And then he stopped himself, and he did like an interview, and he was good. He could have left, but instead he goes and says the thing about Michelle Obama, who is as classy a person as you will ever meet, who has only represented herself, her family in this country with grace, class, and it was just an unnecessary shot on her. That's the type of statement that divides. When in reality, we as a country should be trying to come together. So I absolutely hated that. I absolutely hated that. He needs to do better.
UFC fighter calls Michelle Obama a man after winning a bout at the White House. Josh Hokit has drawn criticism from UFC president and CEO Dana White following his controversial Sunday remark toward the former First Lady at the UFC Freedom 250. In a post-game interview with Joe Rogan, UFC fighter Josh Hokit ended his remarks by insulting Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is a man, am I right, America? This is what he said to the crowd that was gathered on the White House lawn for UFC 250, the first professional sporting event to ever be held at the presidential residence. The remark, which followed Hokit's victory over Derek Lewis, received a mixed response during the fan event, prompting boos but also eliciting some laughters and cheers. This isn't the first time that this dude has made disparaging remarks toward Michelle Obama. After beating Eric Lunsford in May of 2025, he actually uttered the same line back then. Her response, she had a defamation lawsuit, a federal defamation lawsuit.
She had a black versus
and
lawsuit.
she has some
response.
pretty dope lawyers from what, it was a video that I was looking at. She's also moved to freeze all of his UFC 250 earnings, including bonuses and fight payouts, and all the proceeds will be donated to organizations supporting black women. So everything that he won, she's trying to freeze it. So
That's some black people shit.
That should actually take that and give it to.
Do you want the video?
Nope. Okay. I would rather hear from you. I'm not really here for like just playing back somebody getting up there and making a pop out of me. I'm not here for the whole Michelle Obama thing.
It's
like,
trash.
what did that even have to do with anything?
Nothing.
It had nothing. So you just want to just get up there and just be mean to a former first lady, and that's cool.
At the White House.
At the White House.
Right.
In what world? In what world? Give me the world. Find it. Has that ever been okay? To completely disrespect a first lady
openly at the White House.
It's so
where's when who what first lady
and
who?
Is anybody coming out to say anything?
No.
Will there be any statement of like that shouldn't have happened? I mean, I don't know. Did anything get said afterwards?
Lou, did any?
Shout out to Trump for having the balls to put some shit like this on. And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
I mean, the Michelle Obama is a man just ruins everything.
I thought to myself, memo to self, who is this fucking idiot? And make sure that no one I ever work with or invest in ever gets near this idiot.
It's like all of this is happening because for so long they felt like the left just said, you're trash. Right? Like you're white trash. This is redneck stuff. Like you're a bunch of racists. Couldn't stand having a black president. And then this comes out and you're like, I actually didn't think it before. But right now, I think that you're absolute trash.
I don't give a fuck that he said it. It was just an odd choice of you're on that type of stage and you can say anything you want to the masses. And that's the most entertaining thing you can think of. That's where your mind went. You couldn't think of anything more creative than that. It wasn't like I was clutching my pearls like, oh my God, like a lot of the left is doing. But it was just like, that's the best you could think of? Is that? Like, I thought he was about to say something, you know?
Thank you for watching Great Minds Blacks.